We're live. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Why are you yelling at me?
I found it.
I love that. Why are you yelling at me?
That's it. I'm still trying to find That's It. He's dead.
That's it.
That's it. He's dead.
Okay. Welcome to the show. This is Loserly's Wrestling. Loserly's Wrestling. This is the Woos and What's of AEW Dynamite.
Wow.
What?
Wow. I said wow.
Oh, wow. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Hammer, Roy Hammer. How you feeling, Roy?
Whoa. I feel good. Well, my ribs hurt. Physically, I don't know how good I feel, but that was a fun show. It was a really different show. It was totally different than anything they ever do. It was great. And before we start the show, I want to take a quick second, Red, to shout out something special that all the sickos out there should take a second to watch.
Yeah.
Hey EW this past week had Taz, and Taz was so good.
It was really good.
Hey EW, because Taz doesn't take shit, but that's his gimmick. He just, like, RJ City tries to do like his shtick. He's like, oh, I know what you're gonna do. This show's not about the guest. It's about you. It's about the host. I'm gonna make this show about me, bro. It's about me. It's so good. It's the best.
I should see it. I haven't seen a single episode of Hey EW.
You should watch that one specifically.
Brett says, LL Dub,
Turbs here. Turby.
Wow,
we gotta
you're so
talk.
dominant.
We gotta have a talk, Turby.
We have to have a talk, Turby.
We gotta have a talk.
Mose writes, yeah, there's Mose.
Squirrel.
Woodsy the Beast says, pee tastes like the green Jolly Ranger. What?
Coming in
excuse
hot.
me? Beg me pardon?
baking powder?
Baking powder? That's it. Oh, fuck. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. We're going to start talking about AEW.
Turby, why haven't you joined the Discord yet?
I have enjoyed.
I
Woodsy the
sent
Beast,
you the
same
link.
question.
Woodsy, I haven't sent you the link. You have an excuse.
You haven't reached
But
out
Woodsy,
to us.
you haven't reached out.
You haven't
Email.
reached out. loserleaspod@gmail.com. Do not participate in the Patreon. It's dead. Is it dead yet?
It's dying.
Can we pause it?
It's going to die at the end of the. I posted something last week. I posted some bonus content last week.
Oh yeah, that's
And I'm gonna
right.
post a couple more things before we ride off into the sunset. Doug knows, whatever Doug is. I don't know if Doug's watching
Bless
this.
you, Doug. Brett writes LMAO. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now we're on the same page.
Now we are.
We have to talk about the show, Roy.
Whoa, do we? Wow.
What a night.
What a fun night.
Fun night, but also got some issues.
I have some questions.
Yeah, I got some questions. That's more
I
of
got
it.
some questions.
Yeah, we definitely got some questions. But I know for a fact, as a matter of fact, that Tony that's in the chat usually is in fact Tony Khan, because some of the things that I said happened tonight.
That's true. That's true. But there is something that happened that we had been talking about, and I'm glad to report that we were wrong, because it's a good thing, and we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Brett says, sorry I was late. Too busy making money. You know how it goes, boys. We do know how it goes.
Yeah. Tattooing.
Yeah, we're just making that scratch. Wizzy says, my Discord ban is lifted in 2 weeks. That I will join. Maybe we shouldn't have you join.
Why did you get banned there,
It's
pal?
better. You got some explaining to do. Brett says, Woodsy, how did you get banned? We're all curious, Woodsy. Let us know.
We're all curious.
Let's talk about the damn show.
Let's talk about the damn show.
It's presented by Tower of Dragons or House of Dragons.
Yeah, people think this is cool. I've never watched
fun.
Game of Thrones, never seen the show. Well, I saw one episode, and it was like the episode. I watched it in a living room full of people who were very upset about the ending, and I literally went, "What just happened?"
You just ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a fun show up until the last 2 seasons, but I'm curious about this. But it's all presented by that show, and how befitting. So many dragon references on the show tonight, and it actually really worked. We got American Dragon, we got Ricky the Dragon, we got Dragon Lee. A lot of dragon stuff.
A lot of dragon stuff.
But it starts out with CM Punk coming out.
Got some problems with this.
Interesting. Well, I do too.
I have one problem. Everything else.
He comes out with the belt, which I loved. He milked some time.
Absolutely.
I don't know. He didn't come out last time with the belt.
Yeah.
He's in great shape, by the way. He's huge.
Yeah, he looks good.
Dude's huge.
He looks good.
Dude's taking creatine for sure.
Sure.
But the crowd's electric. He's gonna say, I got some important things and some not important things to talk about.
Yeah, real quick. I just want to say, crowd, excellent tonight.
Yeah,
excellent crowd tonight, with the exception of that one guy in the referee shirt that held a gigantic sign. Put your sign down. You're blocking a bunch of people. They can't see the show. Put your sign down.
Wow.
Be respectful to the people around you, West Virginia.
I thought Mr. WCW would be all for the signs.
I love normal size signs. I love there's an Instagram account called 90s Wrestling Signs. It's my favorite Instagram account because all the signs from the 90s are so stupid and funny.
Or horrific.
Oh, yeah, mostly horrific, actually. A lot of Cartman references.
But we have him coming out saying he wants to talk about 2 things, Roy.
Yeah.
Some important things and some not so important things.
Yeah.
And he's just like, we're in Virginia. I think someone deserves a rematch. Hey, Hangman, why don't you come out here and have your rematch? Waits for a bit. Come on. Hits the mic. Nothing. He's like, just what I thought. Coward shit. Moving on. Okay. What are your thoughts on that before we move on?
It pisses me off. It makes me furious. I'm furious about it. I'm absolutely furious. It makes Hangman look bad, but it makes Hangman look like shit. But now it's like, well, that must be intentional. Here's my thing.
I don't think Punk went into business for himself.
I don't think he did either. So at the time I thought, well, maybe he did, but I
think he's setting up what to do after Moxley.
Here's the thing. Well, one, I saw a headline today that it was like, Hangman Page. It was like a Hangman Page interview, and the headline was like, why Hangman doesn't take advice from veterans. And I was like, that's peculiar timing for that to come out and then for Punk to do this. But now that they're doing the Moxley match next week, which I have thoughts on, which we can talk about later, it makes me think that it's going to be a triple threat match in the main event of All Out, which I don't like. Hangman hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned a spot in this match, and now it's a 3. But it's
we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet. But after he does that, and he totally insults and discredits Hangman Page, making him look like complete shit. He's like, now let's talk about the important stuff, the championship, because Mox has his fans. He says that Mox has his fans, but he's always been number 2. You know, he's always been number 2. Actually, he's the 3rd best wrestler in his group right now. And that's not the first time he was the 3rd best wrestler in his group. Very good. And then he's just like, recurring thing. He's like, tell me if, and then he kept saying, tell me if I'm saying lies. Tell me if I'm telling lies, which I love. That's a great theme throughout. Tell me if I'm telling lies. He's like, you're an interim champion, which means temporary champion. And you're buddies with Eddie Kingston, who's the 3rd best Eddie I've wrestled and the 2nd best Kingston. That's
first of all, who's the 2nd Eddie?
So there's Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Eddie
Edwards?
Probably Eddie Edwards then maybe.
Where's Brooklyn Bleak knows the answer to this.
And
I'm
guessing Kingston is the other Kingston. What's his name?
Kofi.
Kofi Kingston. Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah.
I thought there was another Kingston, but I guess not.
Well, I would imagine that. I mean, he was tag team.
That's who he's talking to. Yeah, he loves Kofi. They love each other.
Yeah, they love each other.
But then out comes, and he's like that. And when I beat you in Chicago, you're gonna be the 2nd best John that I've beaten in Chicago.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Really
and John Moxley comes out and he's milking that entrance. He's like, "Oh, I'll do Snow Angels while." I
didn't like that either.
I liked that a lot, and it felt like there's some real heat here.
Yeah, well, I just think Moxley should have gotten in the ring and just punched him, and they should have just started fighting. To get his heat back.
No. I think there was. Oh, hold on, we'll get there. But then he comes out here. Moxley struts around, and he basically saying that Punk, he writes checks that his body can't cash.
Yeah, pretty good.
And he's shaking his foot. He's like, that mic is just a mic. And because when you come up next to me, you're going to be beaten up. He calls himself the heart and soul. And yeah, so CM Punk erupts, and he's just like, yeah, I'm the dollars and cents.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
I thought Moxley said that. I thought Moxley was like, you're just the dollars, and I'm the heart and the soul. No.
Punk interrupted to say, yeah, you're the heart and soul. I'm the dollars and cents, which was very rude and uncharacteristic of CM Punk to go around interrupting. I think that's why there's real heat here. I think there's some real heat.
All the time. He interrupts
not this
everybody.
way.
Watch all the Eddie Kingston promos. There's probably real heat between him and Kingston too.
And you have to interrupt Kingston. You have to, because he will not stop. But then, by the way, the fans pretty split on this, and the way Moxley, Punk is talking, they're really kind of booing him, which is kind of fun.
He did that. He did the same thing in the Hangman angle too.
Yeah. But when he said the dollars and cents thing, that's when Moxley says, you only came to AEW because we were running out of cash.
Which
is really good. Got a big ooh from the audience. He's like, you lost the fighting spirit long ago. And then Mox gets right into Punk's face. He's just like, do whatever you want. Just do it. And then Punk's like, get away, whatever. Goes up, kisses him on the mouth.
Love it.
Love that shit so much. And then Punk's just like, okay. And then they start pushing back and forth. They start beating up. And I do not think they were supposed to be doing this. I do not. I think that this was just going to be like a thing. Maybe the security is going to come out eventually. Or there's going to be a little bit more jaw jack or something like that. And I think that they kind of decided, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And they probably decided it there or right before they went out because the security was not ready and there was not enough. And that's a big issue because when they did the pull apart, like there's like three people that never ended because three people were pulling back Punk and Punk's winded. Well, Punk's winded. He's easily being pulled back. Moxley, you can't stop. He's like going around and like, so he couldn't walk away. Moxley couldn't walk away unless he's dragged away. That's not in his character. So he just kept kind of like trying to go back at it. They didn't send enough people out. That's my take.
That's interesting. I think that's a really interesting take. I'm trying to change my light here. Oh yeah, there you go. Now I look really sick.
Woo!
I think
Not so cold over there.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a really good question. I think this is all planned. This all felt very planned. But maybe not. I mean, the thing that makes this hey, who knows? Maybe that part wasn't planned and Tony Khan was like, "Yeah, that was great. That was great. We're going to do another segment later in the show. You're going to come out again. It's going to be great." Maybe that happened. Like, who knows? And then it leads to the match next week. I think maybe they do a DQ finish next week.
I'm curious. I wonder what's going to happen.
Gimmick match at the pay-per-view.
I really enjoyed it. Besides the brawl, where I think that the Punk just looked tired, and Moxley was running circles around everyone. Like Moxley could have bulldozed through all of them if he wanted to.
Well, Moxley is also like in excellent ring shape right now.
Yeah.
He's been going crazy for months, and he's also on GCW shows. Like, he's working.
He's training with the BCC,
Yeah, and they actually do train. And Punk's just like running. He's just a runner.
I'm a jogger. I do Muay Thai. Yeah. We got Woodsy. We got Mo's writing lots of stuff tonight. Lots. True. Welcome, Mo's. Woodsy to be says, I told somebody who was why he was banned.
I love it.
They were banned. Woodsy says, I told somebody who was fetishizing a child that they were weird and they reported me for bullying them. Well, good for you, Woodsy.
Good for
but
you,
also,
Woods.
But if there's any of that in our Discord, let us know and we'll handle it. We don't want you to have to do the dirty work for us. We want the dirty work. We want to beat them up. We'll find them. Brett says, I'm only 3.5 hours from Cleveland. Good seats are only like $90 next week. I'm heavily debating attending and being your live reporter on the
Go.
Turbs.
That's like
turbs,
one tattoo.
turbs.
That's less than one tattoo.
Duck. Yeah, dog, you got to do it. That's probably less than a tattoo. Brett says, respects Woodsy. Respect Woodsy. We all respect Woodsy.
We all respect Woodsy.
Here's something for you. Quack. 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 It's not on time. Tony Wright. Tony's in the chat.
Tony's here. Boom. Tony. Well, breaking news. Live from West Virginia. Tony's here.
Farts? Where's my farts? All right. We got new farts, guys. Got new farts. Tony writes, beating MJF turned CM Punk into a heel. Boom. I don't think so.
Boom.
I don't think so. Mose writes, the hard truth heel. Hard truth heel. Tony writes, Mox should have smashed Punk with a bundle of light tubes. Of course you would say that. Tony, you're Tony Khan, so I should expect it. Tony writes, Mox is still GCW champ too. Oh, the honor. oh, who's his next opponent? The fierce competitor. What monster of GCW is going to face him next? Do you know, Roy?
Yeah, it's Nick Gage.
Tully Blanchard
he's
with a glass piece of glass.
Training to come back and be in good condition, and they're going to have a career versus title match. I really don't know who's going to win that match, so I'm watching it. I'm going to watch that.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it too. But just
no, you won't, you liar. You say it.
I do. I watch things when you get them.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, August 28th, we're going to watch a very special wrestling show.
Is it called that?
No, it's
tonight on a very special wrestling show. We should coin that.
Just write it down.
Honestly, we said it first.
We did say it first. That's true. No, it's House of Glory. Have you ever heard of House of Glory?
No.
It's an Amazing Reds company that was bought by Master P.
Oh, cool.
So they're doing a giant show in New York, and it looks really cool. It's at Terminal 5. You ever go to Terminal 5?
Tank Abbott better be there.
He's going to be. Special guest referee.
I need him in a match. Mo says, Red loves the fairy tale. Aw, what fairy tale?
What fairy tale are you talking about?
What fairy tale? I do love fairy tales. God damn it. Redley697 says, let's get Bob Odenkirk as a manager. I would have made it. That'd be good.
That would have been a good manager.
A good idea.
He's got 3 Mustangs.
Let's get
sketch was
3 Mustangs. 3 Charger. Oh, no, that's right. I don't know what the terms are. Joe's in the chat. Joe. Getting calls and farts.
Who's calling
everywhere. You? Can't deal with it right now. Joe writes, late to the LLW party, or as I like to call it, the Levesque liberates wrestling. Where's my heaven sound effect? Where's heaven?
Joe,
where's the gates of heaven?
Joe, you better not put that in Discord because I will get you banned from Discord.
No, you can't do it
for bullying.
You can't do it. Where the hell is the gates of heaven?
That's good. We should keep moving.
Okay. Meta Sunbro's in the chat.
Meta Sunbro's here.
Meta says Punk is so tired all the time. It doesn't make me think he can beat Mox. It's true.
Right.
Joe writes Mox's new GCW opponent, jobber number 3 from WWE House Show 3 years ago. Star power! Exclamation!
Who said that? Who, Joe?
Yeah, he did. That was Joe.
Sparkiest mark of all time.
Oh, you guys are being silly. Stop picking on each other. You two have to calm down. We're gonna have a sit down with both of you.
Hey, why are you yelling at me?
I can't find it. But very interesting stuff. We have to start talking about what's happened after this.
Yes.
After this, we have Hobbs in the back with Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit about what happened with Ricky Starks, which was a lot of fun because we love Ricky Starks. And he kind of explained a little bit about why he beat him up, and I liked it. He's just like,
I liked it too.
Yeah, he's like, you became okay with losing.
Yeah, he sure did. But I wish this had been in the ring.
Yeah, I guess
he
deserved a little bit more.
But I thought it was good. What he said was good.
Yeah, it was good. I think this is a good place for Hobbs to be. And we see Ricky Steamboat's here.
Yeah, I love it.
Ricky Steamboat looks great.
Oh, yeah.
He should have had a last match.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Enter
the Dragon. Ricky Steamboat's last match.
Honestly, that would make a better match.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to see it.
But if you think about it, well, whatever. Keep going. It's fine.
But we got next up, we have Daniel Garcia versus Bryan Danielson in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Great match, right? Can we say that up top?
Oh my God.
You're dying.
You know what's so wonderful about it is that their first match was fine. It was fine. Their very first match, not the one they had a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
They're very exactly. No one remembers. It was pretty forgettable. And like I think they got some time cut and it was just kind of lopsided. It was quick. So to see Daniel Garcia get the opportunity to kind of really go for it these last couple of matches and really like have it out with Danielson, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yep.
It was so intense. It was great.
Ignore my Slack.
Was that Slack?
That's Slack. I have to. How do you turn it off?
Do you want to know what sound my Slack makes?
Oh, that's Discord. Discord's going off.
Oh, never mind.
But Joe writes, I kid in reference to the Mox, the GCW star power. He's saying I kid. He said it right after, but I didn't say anything because you were in the middle of a rant against Joe. Redley697 says, how much for Flair's blood? Heard you can buy it by the bucket. Wizzy the Beast says, feel bad for Hangman, but nothing is more sad than watching Ezekiel's father talk about the pain Kevin Owens caused Ezekiel. That's true. That was hard to watch. Did you see some of that?
Didn't see it. Don't care. Anyway.
Tony writes, Hobbs' promo was his best ever. True.
Yeah.
And Joe writes, his blood is 99.8% vodka and 0.2% tears of his ex-wives. You think he drinks his ex-wives' tears?
Yeah.
That's sick, Joe. That's fucking sick. But this was a great match. Stiff wrestling, chain wrestling, really good stuff. That headlock that he had on Danielson, and Danielson flipped over, but he kept the headlock when he did that, because like it was a little bit like light at first. They're testing each other out. Danielson got pissed. Like it almost like grabbed my fucking neck, and because like everything after that, hard hitting, and it like I think he's just like woken up, you know?
Yeah.
And
which is great.
JR asked Taz to spell Juju Katami.
Yeah.
And Taz spells it well. And then Jericho's like, what are you doing? I think JR got mad at Taz earlier in the night. Because in the early night, Punk, he's talking about Punk. He's like, Punk's gonna go against and then Taz's like, Moxley. I know, Moxley. And I think this is legit heat there now. But we go to a like he gets him in a triangle choke. Bryan Danielson gets Garcia in a triangle choke, lifts him up, pile driver, dragon sleeper, and he passes out. That's the first fall.
Great.
First fall. And now poor Bryan Danielson's concussed. And now there's like a lot of moves back and forth where he's just beating him up. And then he gets a quick roll up out of nowhere to get the pin. And now we're tied up.
It was a counter too. He was in a submission and he rolled him up. Yeah. It was great.
It was very good. And then after that, just smashing each other.
Yeah.
Destroying each other. He's dazed. Bryan Danielson's dazed, which I like this as a gimmick for him.
Yeah.
You know, that like this is neck of sand. Like every hero needs a weakness. Everyone needs a weakness.
100%.
We get a spider suplex off the top rope, followed by a missile drop kick. We get the psycho knee from Daniel Garcia and head stomps that were then reversed. And then we get the LaBelle lock in tribute to Jean LaBelle. And we get strikes and then more LaBelle lock. And we get the tap. Great match. Absolutely great match.
Great match. You know what? Yeah, great match. Great match.
Great match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great match.
What do you have thoughts? It seems like you're.
Yeah, I was going to get into the blood stuff, but we don't have to talk about
it.
Say
about the blood
I
stuff.
just don't, Danielson bleeding, I understand. See, here's the thing. I don't care that they bled, but I just, help me. Help me help you. Suspend my disbelief a little bit. Like Danielson was obviously slamming his head or his, shoulders, Garcia's shoulders, into the post.
Sure. I do recall what you're talking about.
At least say that he hit his head on it. Give me something to make me be like, oh, it makes sense that he's bleeding.
He did not need to bleed.
Danielson getting the DDT on the concrete and bleeding, sure, I'm all about it. And if you look closely, right, he blades the first time and it doesn't really work. Like it just is kind of dried on his head. And at some point when they're doing the 10 count gimmick and it's 7 or 8 and he hits the ground again, he cuts himself a second time. Because he's like, I gotta bleed. I got
some juice.
Yeah.
But Garcia just didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Not for this. He got over big. Because after that, you get the pin and Bryan Danielson starts screaming, "He's one of us. He's one of us."
Yeah.
And then he gets up to shake his hand. Jericho runs down and beats the shit out of Danielson.
Yeah.
And what Daniel Garcia does is he stops him. And he's like, "This is who I wanted to be with.
Yeah.
This is the lady I wanted to bring to the dance." And she was taken. She was taken. Yeah. And you asked me to dance. And I'm thankful. I appreciate it. But we're at this dance and she needs me now, Yeah. So let's have this dance. And that's exactly what I saw.
Yeah. This was the part where I wanted to admit that we were wrong. Because when Sammy Guevara joined Jericho Appreciation Society, we talked about how now Garcia is going to get buried. And he's not going to have any time, but they found time for him.
Oh, interesting. I take it differently. I don't take it as we were wrong. I'm taking it as we said he cannot be in the JAS because Sammy. I said that. I said Sammy Guevara took his spot.
No, you're 100% right. But I'm saying he's not. We don't know that he's out yet.
Bryan Danielson must watch the show, and he's just like, I need to save this kid, and he's just like, let me have this match. And let me just tell you, I'm going to let's do this angle because I want him over here because you're wasting him, Jericho. You are wasting him and he's not going to be good over it. I think it's all Bryan Danielson. And I do not think that they had a plan for Garcia at all until this match.
I don't know. I think Danielson probably already had a plan for Garcia in some way.
Danielson always has plans, but I'm just saying that they did not have a plan for Garcia in the JAS. They just did not. Yeah. Once Sammy Guevara came, they got rid of all their plans with Daniel Garcia. All of them. They gave them to Sammy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. What's Sammy doing?
Oh,
they gave all their plans to Sammy, and Sammy's not doing shit.
Yeah, no, because he's fucked up everything he does. Every time he's supposed to do something, he fucks up actually and throws the key into the bounces around or whatever.
What an idiot.
Joe writes, Ezekiel's family for trios title. I could see that. Let's go. Wizzy B says, bring up the picture of Ezekiel in the hospital bed. Oh, don't worry. It's coming up on the Weekly Wrestle this week. The Weekly Wrestle. We'll get into his condition because we have to find out. Joe writes, Danielson always brings it. Technical GOAT? Question mark?
100%.
100%.
He's the best
100%.
ever. He's the best to do it. He is the best technical wrestler in the history of the television era of professional wrestling.
I'd say he's the best ever.
Could be.
I'm gonna say.
I don't know. I've never seen Luthez or Karl Gotch.
They fucking suck.
I mean, Brett's up there. Owen's up there. Benoit was up there. Eddie honestly up there to a certain extent.
I just think he's the best. Yeah. He's the best, and I'd say only
total package.
And you know who I would say is second though?
Oh boy,
he who should not be he who shall not be named.
I just named him.
No, you didn't.
Who?
Benoit.
I just said Benoit.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I heard something else. Oh, well, you named him. Jeez, Roy, that's disgusting.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy, but a talented professional wrestler.
Joe writes, Khan loves Sammy. Yeah, because they're just like big-headed dudes with big teeth. And he's like, you remind me of me.
Did you see that weird video of him dancing at Sammy and Ty's wedding? Did you see that weird video?
Tony Khan of dancing?
It's like Tony Khan, Sammy, and Ty, and they're all like, and there's like a camera going around them in a circle. It's fucking weird.
I can't wait.
It's fucking
I can't wait.
Weird.
Honestly, that's like one of the coolest things I've ever heard. I would love to see it. Here we go, guys. Let's dance again. We got another number. I picked this one. Did you pick the last 3 and the next 7? I picked all these songs for you.
11 songs.
He's nuts.
He's crazy.
The DJ hates Tony Khan. That's a fact. Any DJ hates Tony Khan. Can you do requests? It's me, Tony Khan. That's how he talks. I like this new Tony Khan thing I have going on.
That's a character you just created.
Yeah, it's me, Tony Khan.
Put that down. Write that one down in your character list.
All right. Brett says, I bought the tickets. I hope MJF interrupts the title unification match. If only.
If only.
Joe writes, and Danielson is phenomenal on the mic. So that plus his technical mastery really puts him in a GOAT contention for me.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Carl Gotch is pretty gnarly on the mic as well, but that's all right.
My name's Carl Gotch. Most technical wrestler east of Mississippi.
That's good. That's what it sounds like.
Great promo, that dude.
Oh.
Hard times are when your dad gets laid off at a factory.
Kane Dewey.
Kane Dewey. Kane Dewey is a 3-year-old boy. You son of a bitch. Joe writes, behind Danhausen and Gargano, of course. Oh, Jesus. We have to keep moving on. Right. We have to keep moving on.
Yeah, we got to roll.
Because we got Swerve in Your Glory embarrassing Private Party. Yep. Private Party still look like a joke, and they make them look more like a joke.
Yep.
And then Isaiah Cassidy tries to say something like, you embarrassed me once. I'm not going to let it happen again. And Keith Lee does even more burial by lifting up a piece of gum and ignoring him and just saying, just trying to help. It's really fucked up. Honestly, this is one of the most fucked up things you could do to a tag team. That's literally like drowning in their own lack of self-worth. Like if self-worth were a puddle, every time you were worth yourself less, you got more, they'd be drowning. I don't know. It's bad.
Crackpot theory. This is all intentional. I have learned at this point that every time I think something's intentional, not every time, but now, a year ago, different story. And I'm going to say that again later in the show. But now when I'm like, oh, they're doing that smart, it's usually not smart. I just am making it up, but they are self-destructing, and someone else is also self-destructing, and someone is going to be broken soon. And he's going to need 2 people to be broken with him. 2 people that he has a history with, that he has already betrayed in the past and done terrible things to. So I don't know. Maybe Matt Hardy and Private Party will be broken together.
That's interesting. That's something for Matt Hardy to do. I guess I was thinking a different thing. You know who they'd look really good with? And Private Party would be a good team name with this person. Swerve.
Sure. Yeah.
Have something happen where Swerve's just like, I don't really want these titles. And he walks away from Keith Lee in that match.
That'd be great. That's definitely not going to happen, but it'd be great because it's something different.
Interesting. He's like, I'm a singles guy, but I like that they have those teams, and I'll give it to them. I'm going to help them win.
Interesting. Yeah. What if after all of this, Private Party does win this match? They're not going to. But it's nice.
How embarrassing for the tag team titles. Joe writes, Redley697 says, did you skip my comment? And also Joe's? What? You didn't make any comment. You said how much for Flair's blood. That's the last thing you sent.
Yeah, Redley697.
And I mentioned Joe's Danhausen and Gargano court. Yeah, I said all this.
Yeah.
You're trying to start shit, and want to what? Not going to have it. Where's my farts?
Having it.
Where's my farts? Oh, that's a good one.
That's the one.
That's a classic. Oh, wait, here's one. That's a wet one. Joe writes, I love Angle, but no, Danielson better. Yep, I think so.
Oh, Angle's a good call too.
Angle is a really good call, but honestly, I haven't seen enough of his TNA stuff, so I can't say.
Well, we should do a bit of a deep dive. We should do like a 5-match: Joe, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Desmond Wolfe, who's Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah,
and like a Jay Lethal match. Might be fun.
We got Woodsy the Beast says Kyle O'Reilly is better than Danhausen. Turbs will agree, but you better watch out for Joe.
Where's Turbs?
Watch out for Joe. Turbs, he'll jump in anytime. Joe says Angle the quickest learner though. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah,
that's pretty fair to say.
Joe writes Danhausen with both hands tied behind his back over O'Reilly. Easy now. He hasn't. I know. Joe, the thing is, Joe just wants to troll with Danhausen.
Well, we're gonna
Joe is a Dan. He knows it gets you riled up.
Well,
I just talked to him recently. He's like, I'm trying to rile Roy up.
Well, good. I mean, it's working.
It's doing a good job.
We're gonna need to settle this Kyle O'Reilly versus Danhausen in 2K22.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to happen.
We have to start doing that again. Turby's so upset with us. Redley697 says, who decided that pins should be a 3 count? 3 is a poor number. What are you talking about, Redley?
Can you elaborate on that, Redley?
It's just not on the million or something. I don't know. Joe says
it's a poor number.
Joe says Swerve walks out on Lee. Very cool. It would be great if he remarks about how home now that Daddy is in charge. Going home now that Daddy's in charge.
Stop it. Stop. I got news for you. When Daddy was in charge of NXT, he wasn't doing fucking shit.
Daddy wasn't in charge of NXT when Swerve
Yes,
was
he was.
Throughout AEW. Yes. He was not in charge.
Oh my God, your conspiracy theories.
Oh no! I'm a conspiracy theorist that Vince McMahon is a power hungry, obsessed with competition. The minute that they were against each other, he's like, oh no, Triple H, you're failing ratings. I'm gonna let you keep doing what you're doing. I'm not saying
that he was solely in charge, but I'm saying that he was still very much in charge of all of that.
I'm saying that he
created Hit Row. I mean, Hit Row was interesting and good, but they never booked them properly.
No, I know. I get it. I think he created a lot of characters that were then booked by Vince McMahon improperly. I agree.
Why are you yelling at me?
Where's that fucking thing?
I need you to play it.
That's the wrong one.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm gonna keep my button right over there. Mo's right. Swerve Party trios. Swerve Party's great.
Swerve Party's fun. Yeah.
Brett says Kyle O'Reilly over Danhausen, but I do love that Danhausen. Way to bridge the gap there,
nice.
Turby.
Nice.
That's really nice. Turby writes LLW Twitch, LLW Twitch, LLW Twitch soon. It's one of these days, any day now. Unless I get hired by a certain company. Joe writes, he also legit loved Danhausen, but yes, just a little bit of trolling. He's agreeing. It's sweet. Sure. He loves it. He's making he makes the chat spicy.
We're having a good time. I never take any of this personally. It's a fun time.
I know. Neither of you do. Redley697 says pins as in pin count. When one wrestling bodies that other player for X amount of seconds, judged by the ref, cough, they were probably paid off, cough, to the count 3. My question is, why 3? You're literally sounding like incoherent. You sound incoherent.
You remember 3 count?
You do.
Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. You want to talk about Tank Abbott? Tank Abbott was their biggest fan.
Stank Abbott. That's his new nickname. But next we have Tony Nese coming out to get absolutely humiliated by Moxley, who smashes his way through, and he goes right into the ring.
They've never done this before. This has never happened in AEW before. This whole there's going to be wait a minute. They've never done that before, and it was great. I was so excited. This company is 3 years old, maybe 4. I don't know. There's still so much they haven't done. And it's great when they do something they've never done before, like this. This was really exciting for me. Smart
move using Tony Nese, because if they used anyone else, they'd be like, "Oh, we want to see the match," but they're like, "Thank God, we didn't see that match."
Yeah.
But he comes out and he demands that they have the unification tonight. Then Punk runs out and is immediately pulled away by people, and then they still have their little pull apart, which is fun.
Yeah, it was great. That pull apart was better than the first one.
Better than the first one because there's more people there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Tony with Chris Jericho in the back and 2.0. And Jericho is giving Daniel Garcia a pass for tonight because he had a big battle and he must be a little concussed. And that's why he's making stupid things. But next week, he wants to have a face-to-face with him in the ring on Dynamite. And then Ricky Steamboat comes by and he says that Daniel Garcia doesn't need Chris Jericho when he's got a mentor like Bryan Danielson, and he touches his hair and his body in weird ways. And then Chris Jericho walks away, and then Ricky's about to slug him. But then instead we have Angelo say, "Hey, watch it, old man. You better mind your P's and Q's." And he grabs him by his jowl. And then Ricky's like, no. And he gives this karate super palm thrust into his neck chest area. And it made a good sound.
It was great. It was great. If you ever get the chance, if anybody on here ever gets a chance, go back in the archives of Chris Jericho's podcast and listen to the one with 2.0, because Angelo Parker tells a story about how he did a job. He was a jobber, like a one-off jobber on a WWE show, and they had him cut a promo before it. And, nobody knew who he was. Like, no one in Gorilla knew who he was, but they were like, "We know you're a good talker. Like, go out and just like cut a quick promo, get some heat, and then you'll get beaten in 3 seconds." And then after the promo, he goes to the back and Vince is there, and Vince is like, You're great. You were great. You're just so hateable. Everybody hated you." And I hear that and think of that every time he does stuff like this, because he is so good at being hateable. He's such a wiener, and it's so good. He's tremendous.
I think there's something missing for me a little bit, but I see it and I know it's there. It's hard when you're next to the other guy.
Sure, of course. Well, he's like that guy.
It's an uphill battle when you're teamed with that guy and you're wearing like similar gear. It's just, you gotta. Joe writes, hell, Lee would say the same. Triple H loves him as he should and would push him to the top. He was the man in NXT. That's true.
Sort of.
Joe writes, now just another guy. Yeah, it's a shame.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're all like, come on now.
They're tag team champions. They are tag team champions.
I'm so sorry to tell you this, Roy. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I have to break the news. I'm so sorry you have to break the news, but the tag team titles have never meant less.
That is not true.
FTR doesn't have them.
More. They've definitely
FTR doesn't have them.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the only team that's credible with those titles right now. And anything less is a step down. And basically, Swerve in Your Glory is a step down from Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, which is a step down from FTR. They're third string. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the other tag teams on that division. It's just not fair, Roy.
I had to charge my laptop.
It's not fair.
They're going to build him up, but they got to get him in a feud.
I'm just saying.
They can't just have him defend the titles in matches. They can't just have matches. They got to have a feud.
But I'm just saying they mean the least they've meant the entire time that the company's been in existence. Right now, the titles mean the least.
I don't know.
Do you not agree?
I don't know if I agree with that. I have to think more about it.
Okay. If anyone has any intel on that,
and it's also not on them. That's not totally on them.
No, it's not totally. No,
the titles
I'm not putting anything on them.
Meaning less before they won them.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like, I'm not putting any of this on them. I'm saying they are being used like garbage. For what they could do. Yeah. I feel like, yes, they are treating them like just another guy, just another. They are not special. They are not special in any way in the eyes of the television show.
They could make it special. They could. Because you have two guys who are tag team champions that could also be feuding for the heavyweight title.
Want to know what you have? Swerve with Private Party, and then you move Keith Lee, get Stokely to get him.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun. But Stokely.
Oh my God.
The only
problem. He has too many people. You can get. I like Keith Lee in the Gun Club. Honestly,
that's an interesting team.
Underneath Stokely.
Oh, sure.
Underneath Stokely.
Yeah.
Okay. Redley697 says, wrestler asterisks. I feel like I'm communicating myself properly. I'm asking about a fundamental of professional wrestling, and y'all are treating me like I'm some sort of dunce.
pretty funny.
Joe writes, "We love you, Redley697. Join the Discord." Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, join the Discord, Redley697.
Joe writes, 100% on the tag title, meaning very little now. Triple H to save tag team wrestling? Yes, please.
I'm sorry,
you hate
what?
That.
What are you fucking talking
Joe
about?
writes, he saved women's wrestling. Even Roy has to admit that AEW doesn't really care about women's matches.
Well, first of all.
Well, I'm asking, that was a direct question there, Roy. Do you care about women's matches? No, does AEW care about women's matches?
They don't care as much as they should.
Do they care more or less than WWE?
Less. I'm not denying that.
And would you say Triple H runs WWE right now?
Look, I'm not denying all the work Triple H has done for women's wrestling within the WWE, but my issue is that I'm tired of the WWE pretending like they created women's wrestling and they didn't do a bunch of horribly degrading and demeaning things to women for decades before the last 5 years.
What are you talking about? Fabulous Moolah had the belt for 30 years, Roy. That's a pretty prestigious thing that they did. You're being ridiculous. It's insulting.
Let's not get into Fabulous Moolah. All right.
Oh, let's get into some Varsity Blondes, though. They come out and they lose immediately to the Gun Club. This was the fastest match in AEW history.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Colton destroyed Griff Garrison so badly. We won't recognize him ever again.
Never.
Varsity Blondes need a little break, right?
They need to they need to go to, I don't know, GCW or something.
And you know who's really proud of them? Billy. Billy's so goddamn proud of his kids, and he's so happy for them. He's just like, that's what I was talking about. Last week when I said that stuff, it's right here. This is the best moment in my life. Best moment being with my boys here. They claimed
with my boys.
And then he turns around. Gets a mud hole stomped right in his big, beautiful ass by his boys.
Did you notice that down when he hit the ground? They both got on top of him, but didn't punch him. They just kind of like rubbed their bodies on him. Yeah, it's all it was. Dad's
down on the ground. Let's get him. That's what it was. But then they claim come to save the day, and then they get a real and fun daddy scissoring moment, which was really sweet. But aren't there too many turns this night?
Who else turned?
Daniel Garcia, Jericho,
Billy Gunn. That's still murky. This is established.
It's not murky. Yes, it is not murky.
Yes, it is.
It is not murky.
This is probably a setup, and Danielson's going to fight Jericho at the pay-per-view, and Garcia's going to help Jericho beat Danielson. It's probably a setup. It's a 50-50 here. It's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50. Okay. What do we have here? We have a lot of things here. Redley697 says, "I love you, Joe Redlitz." That's very sweet, Redley697.
Nice.
Brett Pendleton says, "Danhausen lost to Tony Nese and is running Nese strike faster. I'm sure." Yeah, that was probably a lot faster. The Tony Nese.
Maybe.
Brett says, "Maybe." Joe writes, "Why does Triple H have acknowledged WWE's garbage past? It wasn't his regime, and now he's doing his best to right the wrongs."
Say that.
That's amazing.
What about Triple H? What?
No, I think he messed up with acknowledge. Like, why does Triple H have to, I think, take credit for WWE's garbage past? I think that's what you're trying to say.
It's not that he has to take credit. It's just, in general, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Brett says, "I don't know." What is that reference to Terps? Mo says, "How was this a squash? So happy Acclaimed had some TV time." How was this a squash?
That's the team that should take, I'm ignoring that squash comment because that's silly. That's the team that needs to take the AEW tag team division back up in the long run.
Gun Club and Acclaimed? Oh, Acclaimed. Yeah. The Acclaimed should have those belts right now. The fact that they do, it should be FTR, Acclaimed, Gun Club, whoever, a list of other people.
The Gun Club hasn't fully proven themselves to me yet. Neither
is Keith Lee or Swerve.
Yeah, but they're both great wrestlers and they can have great matches. I'm not convinced that the Gun Club can hang yet. You got to hang.
They're more entertaining.
Than who?
Than Keith Lee and Swerve right now.
Keep going.
Are we going to disagree on that?
I do disagree with that. Yeah.
You don't think that they have had more entertainment TV segments the last?
Maybe entertaining TV segments, but if I have to choose between watching a Gun Club match or a Swerve and Keith Lee match, I'm choosing Swerve and Keith Lee every time.
I can't think of a single Keith Lee and Swerve match that was as good as that dumpster match.
The match where they won the titles. And I know you didn't like that match, but that match to me was better than the dumpster match. The dumpster match was great. I enjoyed the dumpster match. I enjoyed it. Right. I don't think it was earned necessarily, but I think,
Joe writes, Acclaim better than the rapper Cena? Yeah, I agree. He says yes. It's more actually John Cena. They're better rappers, but John Cena may have been more fun.
Yeah, I think he may have been.
Woodsy says WCW had strippers come out every commercial break, so Roy can't complain about W's treatment of women and love WCW. Woodsy, you gone done did it. Woodsy,
time out.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Time out. Hold on a second.
Why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, Woodsy, why are you yelling at me? Here's my thing about it. I mean, do we have to get into this? Do you want to get into this, or you want to save this as a topic?
No, I think we already know. It's a topic for the weekly wrestle, but
I'm just saying they weren't strippers. First of all, they were dancers. They were cheerleaders. They were the Laker girls for WCW.
Yeah, they were dancers.
They were the
strippers is a derogatory term.
Yeah, there is a difference there. They never took their clothes off. They were just in different outfits. One and two. WCW never had women strip in the middle of the ring and have them bark like dogs, and they never did diva searches, and they never did all of these other degrading, demeaning things.
HLA
backstage. Yeah, HLA. Like, yeah, okay, there were some murky things the last couple of years of WCW because of Russo, but by and large, we're talking two different things here.
Mo's writes, it's murky, Red. We agree. We're on the same page. Brooklyn Bleak. Did we say hi to Brooklyn Bleak before?
Brooklyn Bleak. Who's the other Eddie that CM Punk wrestled?
Yeah. Who's the other Eddie that CM Punk wrestled, Eddie?
You'll know this.
Brooklyn Bleak. Brooklyn Bleak says, Triple H himself is responsible for enough crap of his own over his career. That's true.
Yeah, you ever heard of Katie Vick? You ever heard of Booker T at WrestleMania 19? Joe, defend that one.
Joe writes, yeah, WCW hated women. A lot of that was Russo's doing, right? I think we can all rally behind our hatred of him.
Yeah. Russo and Eric Bischoff. We hate them both. Eric, move on. Stop complaining about Eric. Tony Khan in every interview you do.
The real Adam T is here.
Hey, Adam T.
Dude, you're hating on Swerve and Lee to a ridiculous degree. Listen, I love
Adam T.
I love Keith Lee. Roy?
Yeah, you do.
I love Keith Lee. And like Swerve, everything I've seen of Swerve, I really like Swerve. Great as singles. As a tag team, it doesn't seem like they really gel terribly well. And also they've been together for 8 weeks. They've been together for
months,
3 months, and they've been champions for 8 weeks.
That's none of that math is correct. I don't think. Yeah, that's okay. That's
3 months, 3 months, and then the champs for 2 months.
No, they've been champs for like a month, and they've been together I saw them wrestle live in the middle of July, and when did I go to that
the middle of July?
Time out.
The middle of July, this has been like 7 months ago.
Time out. When did they come to Austin last?
The middle of July.
No, it couldn't have been, because it was when Jeff Hardy.
Must have been the middle of June.
No, I think it was May. I don't know. Either way. I just want to point out. Your math is weird. My math is bad. I just want to point out that I'm going to predict that they're going to prove you wrong.
Brooklyn Bleak says calling the Nitro Girls strippers is nuts. We agree. People are dancers.
They're dancers.
Spice, everyone's dancers.
Booker T's wife, Kimberly Page.
Mo says, I wasn't expecting the squash between the Blondes and Gunn. That's all. No, I agree. Oh, that's what you were saying about with the thing before. You didn't think it was a squash? It was expecting the squash between. Oh, okay. But Joe writes, dancers with very little clothing, also major guns.
Major guns.
Yeah, also major gun. The real Adam T says Gun Club is greener than Hornswoggle's dingus. They should still be on dark. Lord, Adam T. Adam T. Come on now.
Adam T.
No, I think Gun Club I think they're in great shape. I think they're doing there's definitely need some seasoning.
Yeah, but I don't think they're yet.
They don't need to be.
But there are people who have wrestled on both Dynamite and Rampage that are greener.
Yeah, and they're I think the Gun Club is right on
I would
pace.
say Hook is greener than the Gun Club, but they protect
Hook needs a little bit more seasoning. Danhausen needs a lot more seasoning.
Controversial.
But Tony Swerve needs to get that personality.
Tony Swerve. Tony Nese.
Tony Nese.
Tony Swerve. Hey, I'm Tony Swerve. Hey.
Hey, Tony Swerve over here. That's Vince Russo's character for sure.
Yeah. Let's keep rolling, unless you got more comments.
Joe writes, Triple H is like any man. He can grow and evolve. That's good. Then writes, Gun Club with Danhausen is gold. Give me that theme song all day, every day. We know your love of that Ass Boys song. We have to keep moving on, Roy.
We sure do.
Because Death Triangle has something to say. Death Triangle talking now about the United Kingdom or Empire. And Pac's great. Pac's a great promo.
He's a great promo. He's an excellent talker. He looks fucking great.
Incredible. I'm so honestly I'm glad that he has that championship because he deserves something. But man, does he deserve more?
Sure, of course. Yeah. I think
I want to see him in the main event picture eventually.
Yeah. If he wants it. I get the feeling that he doesn't want it. I get the feeling that he likes wrestling, but he likes also the ability to like go home because he doesn't want to move to America. He wants to still live in the UK. So I think he likes the ability to be off TV for a few weeks at a time, come back for a few weeks. I think he likes all of that. So,
but I'm sure he does. But I'll also say like, you're not taking these bumps if you don't want that championship.
Oh, sure. Of course. You know, if you're not very passionate for the business.
But we do have Jungle Boy coming out. Roy, do you remember when Jungle Boy came out?
I remember, in a black T-shirt that said nothing.
And he said, listen, I've been trying to hit Christian Cage with my hand, with my body, and with my car. Tony Schiavone says, I remember that one.
That was funny.
And that was very funny. And now I want to challenge Christian Cage at all. Oh, and he screams all out in a weird way. Then Christian Cage comes out and he's just like, whoa. Just a few weeks ago, you couldn't get a sentence out like you were from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Really
that
good.
Man
Charlotte's
looks great in a turtleneck.
Oh, he kills it. And he made fun of like he does a great job. He's trying to smooth things over with him. He's like, listen, I'm gonna get in the ring. Don't hit me. I just want to be there for you because I love you, Jack. Jack, I love you. I love you, and we're like family.
We'll take you to the top.
You're like a son to me.
Yeah,
like a son to me, and I'm like a living father to you. He didn't say that, but I think that would have been a good line.
I also love that like the crowd started booing, and he was like, "Don't listen to them. They've never accomplished anything." And the crowd just boos.
He's so good. And then Jungle Boy goes for the hug. And then just takes him down, just starts punching. Great brawl here. Yeah. Jungle Boy can brawl.
Yeah.
While his voice doesn't have the brawl. And then every time they try to crawl away, pulls him and does this jumping like hand swing attack. Really fun. And then we eventually get him pulled away. A lot of brawls.
I thought Christian did the coolest thing in the history of wrestling, where he slid to the outside to try to get away and then just without looking, kicked Jungle Boy in the dick. Like without looking.
That was really good. That was really good.
Booted him in the dick.
Great sidekick to the dick.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they were brawling for maybe like 10 minutes. The security must have been real tired.
They're tired. Yeah.
They're exhausted. You think they'd be a little bit more prepared. They're just like, oh my God, there's a string of this happening. It's now pattern. We got to have people around the ring. There was fewer than ever. Enough for Jungle Boy to smash and stomp Christian's arm into the thing. Guess they only care about the main event, you know?
What are you talking about?
The security.
Oh, the security. Yes.
Oh, no, I'm trying to be. I
thought you were saying the company only cares about the main event. They're putting a lot of time into this.
No, they did good. Mo says Dark has Kip going against Pac. I hate it. Yeah, that's a shame.
Did they wrestle? They wrestled each other?
But they're probably going to happen. But like, it's just a shame that Pac
should just be at the pay-per-view.
No, that should just not happen. Pac that lowers Pac's status.
Pac needs to wrestle someone cool and interesting, and Kip Sabian's not that person. You're right, but Pac needs to wrestle someone cool and interesting for that title at the pay-per-view. So it needs to be someone from another country, from another promotion, because he's defending the title. It's the International Grand Prix or whatever title. So he needs to be defending it against someone cool at the pay-per-view. Put him on a stage.
I think we have. They are leading that story. The Hex Infinity says something, but then says right after, spoiler alert on that last comment. And I'm not going to read it out loud in respect to the people.
Wait, I want to know what it is. Shit.
I can't say it. It's a spoiler, Roy.
Is it about Kip Sabian?
Yeah, and you don't want to know it. Because if you watch the match, you might want to see this moment. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Does he wrestle with the box on his head?
It's ruined me forever, so I can never enjoy it the way that you can. I
a
want to see through your eyes. No,
was this on Dark? The most recent Dark?
I'm not going to say anymore, Roy.
You can say what episode, what it was
not gonna
on,
say
so I can go watch it.
Well, I don't know. It's just a small comment, and I don't want to ask more questions because then I'll go, Roy. Joe writes, Jungle Boy to GCW. What? Did you just come, Joe? What are you looking at, Roy?
I'm not. Well,
Woodsy says Roy is so pessimistic. People can change. Examples: HBK, Jake the Snake, Goldberg, Angle. Actually, let me just give a few of those. HBK never really changed. Jake the Snake changed a bunch more times after that. And may change again. Goldberg's never changed. You're right. No, Goldberg's never changed. Goldberg's been exactly the same. And Angle is the success story in there.
Okay. Hey, you could put Jake the Snake down.
So far.
Another wrestler that we worked with.
Oh yeah, we did work with Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
He fell asleep in the green room.
And he called his manager "little bitch."
He called him a little bitch.
Really uncomfortable. Made all of us very uncomfortable.
And he also made fun of Davy Boy a lot and said I kicked his ass. And I was just like, you did not.
Yeah. And Rick Rude and weird.
He's just making fun of the dead people. Next up, we have in the back FTR with Wardlow.
Yeah, fine. Wait, we didn't talk about the Jay Lethal segment then.
Because the Jay Lethal segment?
Yeah, Jay Lethal, Sanjay.
Oh, they just showed that. I thought that was a pre-taped.
It was, but it still counts. It still counts. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah. So Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt said a thing or two, and then Sam said a thing.
I just love when Sanjay talks. I think Sanjay's such a good talker. He's so funny. He's out of 10 always.
You know who Sanjay Dutt reminds me of?
Who?
Your brother when he's being a heel. I think your brother would make a great Sanjay Dutt.
I think, yeah.
No, I'm saying
no. I think Sanjay, whatever.
But they had this thing, and nobody misses with the Pinnacle, Cash says, and he looks at both guys just like, hey, remember that? And Cash should not talk.
Cash is a good talker. I like Cash, but Dax should always finish the segment.
Yeah, but also Dax always puts himself over more than anyone. Yeah. And he makes like, I'm the star. My name's Dax Axe. I'm star. He knows it. Want to what next up? We have the best surprise of the evening. Best for me. Best surprise. Best. Closer. Kylan King versus Tony Storm.
Yeah, it's a good match.
Kylan King, we just talked about last week, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
And I mentioned how I wanted her there. I wanted her to do more. She's a good worker and she could go. And she proved it tonight. Looked amazing.
She looked good. I thought what's crazy to me is that, and this is probably why it's important that they do this, I thought she was just still a jobber on Dark. I didn't realize that she was, winning matches. So when I saw that her record was 14-12, pretty good. All right.
I like her. I like Kylan. And she should be? She should be with Vicky.
Sure.
Have her in the Vicious Vixens thing, but she honestly could take Nyla Rose's spot like that.
Whoa.
Powerhouse, tall.
I would much rather it be Nyla and her than Nyla and Marina Shafir. Although I do like Marina Shafir.
I forgot she existed.
Yeah. I
completely forgot. They did too. Tony Khan's just like, ooh, I heard that one. He's just like that. Wizzy B says, fun fact, Sanjay didn't win the X Division title until 2019.
Yeah, and I think he won it because they were in India and they needed to put the title on someone who is from India. So
that's
they put it on Sanjay Dutt, who is an excellent ambassador to India for any wrestling promotion.
Mose writes, King is a good sub for Stat. Very good.
Yeah.
That's a good sub because the similar stature, I'd love to see them go. That Haas battle.
Yeah.
Eyes
are so dry.
Next up, we have this. So I wasn't even going to write this down at first, but it was the Trustbusters talking.
Yeah.
But then I saw Sonny there, and Sonny did a little talking.
Yeah.
And I think, and Sonny did great. I think Sonny should be the mouthpiece for that. I think Sonny would make a better mouthpiece and give Sonny something to do.
I would love it if Sonny was the leader of a group, not even the Trustbusters. Create your own group and have Sonny be the leader of it.
And I used to hate the Trustbusters being in this trios tournament.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Sure. Oh yeah.
You hated it as well. But then it kind of made sense to me in a way because I liked it for this reason. He bought his way into the tournament.
Sure.
He literally bought his way into the company, bought his way into the tournament. That's why people hang around him, because he's going to buy them ways into things. They're not very good yet, but I kind of like that aspect, and it makes sense.
Yep. 100%.
We're upset at them for being involved, and it works.
Absolutely.
Mose writes, Vixens is poo-poo. Stop, Red. You better stop, Mose. The Vixens can be good.
They could be. Anybody can be good if you put enough time into it.
You just got to get rid of the trash here.
That's why wrestling is good.
Yeah, wrestling's good. Wizard B says, I don't know. The Canadian Jinder Mahal is a fantastic ambassador for India. Is Jinder Mahal a Canadian? I didn't know that.
He's born in Canada.
That's funny. So is Sami Zayn. We're at the main event, Roy. We're at the main event.
Here we are.
Did you know that?
This is the big moment.
Andrade and Rush and Dragon Lee come out. And then the Young Bucks come out, right? And they're like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Cutler? Taz has zero respect for Cutler, and he says so as such. He's like, if they do it, if they have Cutler, they have a hard chance to win. I no disrespect to Cutler, but like, I don't got respect for him. He just really rips him apart. But then out comes, Cutler hands a piece of paper to Justin Roberts, and he reads out, it's Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's here. Kenny Omega is in a athletic
like a compression shirt,
and he's wearing a shoulder brace.
He looks the beginning of the match, but it gets taken off at some point, I think.
But he looks good.
He looks
in good shape.
Yeah.
And there's not much to talk about the match because honestly, it was whatever.
It was fun. It was so much fun. I had a lot of fun watching this match.
Honestly, the only notes I really had about it, like it was a fun match. It was fine. But Kenny was winded a good portion of that match.
Kenny was winded. I got nervous. He gets me. Kenny gets me every time. And this is a Kenny move. Kenny gets me because he'll start selling things that logically would hurt on his body, whether they hurt or not. So like he did the fireman's carry flip, and then he's supposed to roll up and hit a moonsault, but he like slips and he's like, geez. And then he tags out in the beginning of the match. And immediately my gut reaction was like, oh no. Kenny's never going to be the same again. He's doing that shit intentionally. Just like when he's selling the knee, he kept selling his knee because he had knee surgery, so he kept selling the knee. He kept holding his stomach because he had hernia surgery. But I do think, on the other end, he's wearing a compression shirt because he probably has his midsection taped up because he's worried about the hernia surgery that he had.
I have a strong feeling that he's been working us this entire time. I believe all the surgeries happen.
Yeah.
But I believe like he's well enough to get in the ring because Tony Khan wouldn't take a risk like that.
And I think that fucking spot where he's sitting on the guardrail and Dragon Lee does the flip and crushes him. Yeah. If he was hurt,
he wouldn't.
That wouldn't be happening.
He wouldn't do that.
That would not.
But just to go towards the match, it was a good match.
Yeah. This was also the triumphant return of Don Callis, I'd like to point out. And I think Don Callis is the best, just the best. And JR needs to shut the fuck up when Don Callis is talking. Let Don Callis talk, JR.
Honestly,
the man still knows how to talk.
The fact that JR was on this entire one, like, why did they do it?
It's too much. It's too long.
Then we get the win with a Angel, one win again, Angel.
Yeah.
And then the pin, Kenny Omega gets the pin on Dragon Lee. And afterwards, right before commercial break, they ended the show, they start beating up Dragon Lee, which I'm assuming was only meant for the house crowd. Because why? It was only meant for that.
Well, his mask also came off, and America saw this dude's face.
Did you see it? Did you see his face?
Yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a close-up, but he didn't cover his face when they took his mask off. But yeah, that happened, and then you could see the Bucks and Kenny be like, "Hey, look at that. That's weird." It was a little strange. But yeah, it was good. It's that's the thing tonight. Like, is like a reminder of like who the true main eventers are in AEW. It's Punk, it's Danielson, it's Moxley, it's Kenny. Yeah. Biggest reactions of the night, and it's so good. It was so cool to see Kenny come back. He got a huge reaction.
And he still could work. And I love what he may have not been running as fast, but when the moves come, he gets like explosive energy. Yeah. And I think honestly that will work better for him in the long haul by kind of like pacing himself like that a little bit more. Yeah. Get those explosive moments and milk the injury. I think will help his career in the long haul.
They tagged him in. First time back in the ring. He does an arm bar. He chops Dragon Lee twice, throws him into the turnbuckle, gets on the second rope, gets the crowd going, does the 10 punches, and when the 10 punches are over, the crowd's chanting, "You still got it." He did 2 chops, an armbar, and 10 punches in the corner, and the crowd's going crazy and chanting, "You still got it." The guy's a smart worker. He knows how to wrestle. He knows how to sell. He knows how to work a crowd. Just throwing.
He does. Joe writes, can Great Khali be good? They put time in him. No, he couldn't have.
Well, neither could Giant Gonzalez, but there's certain things that are tricky.
His poor knock knees. Well, look at those knees.
Nyla Rose is already great in a lot of ways.
Have you seen Khali walk recently?
I'm fine. I don't need to.
Yeah, don't. But he's in great shape. Mose writes, Kenny is running a long story already. Fantastic. Yeah. Hex Infinity says Omega Man. Mose says, good point, Joe. You know the deal. Mose writes, Kenny would be the best car salesman. He's ripped as hell and is hiding it. He is ripped. Hex Infinity says Don Callis is GOAT tier.
Got that right.
I disagree.
Incredible color commentator.
Herb says the main benefit of having Kenny back is his creativity. Lots of really fun creative spots. I'm not sure would have happened without his mind involved. He's very creative.
Yeah.
The real Adam T says, yeah, he did a hell of a job selling because he worked me. The whole match, he looked hurt and sloppy as fuck, included the one-winged angel. He did look sloppy as fuck. One-winged angel
did look sloppy as fuck, and I honestly think the one-winged angel looked sloppy as fuck because he was tired.
Honestly, I think that was real, and I also think that when he did the handspring after the fireman carry was real. When he fell, that was 100% because he laughed and he couldn't help but laugh.
But do you remember? Do any of y'all remember when he fought Pac the very first time at the first ever All Out pay-per-view? In that match, there were multiple times when he would do a move of his that was normal and he would slip and fall. And he would do it intentionally. And he did it intentionally to make the audience think that he was losing a step because he was rusty because he hadn't wrestled in a long time. And if you think about it,
or maybe it's his incurable vertigo.
Well, that vertigo's no joke. I think you know a thing or two about that. But if he hasn't wrestled in 10 months, that up until this point, I would think in the last 15 years, 10, 15 years, that is the longest he's gone without wrestling in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And that's...
This is not in any way a criticism of him.
He's incredible.
He's incredible.
That's all I'm saying.
Mose writes, yes, that sloppy angel was key to the story. Sloppy angel is great. I love that. Real Adam T says, honestly, that should make a t-shirt right now. Yeah. Real Adam T says, but we'll get sued by Kenny. Real Adam T says, Googling Great Khali walking vids right now. Check you guys later. Don't do it, Real Adam T.
Adam T, have a great night.
Oh, good luck, Adam T. But that's the end of our show.
That's the end of our show.
That's the end of our show.
We did it.
We did it.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Why are you yelling at me? 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 Oh, son of a bitch!
What? I have so many questions about why are you yelling at me and where that came from. I just feel like that's...
Oh, sorry. That was an accident.
He got caught with a hot mic when Vince was yelling at him.
Why are you yelling?
Why are you yelling at me?
Oh man. But thank you all so much for joining us. Come to the Discord. Email us at loserleavespod@gmail.com. Follow us everywhere that you can follow us, and I appreciate you. Right, Roy? Do we appreciate you?
Yeah, we appreciate you.
We love our sickos.
Join the Discord. Jump in, ask some questions. Let's hang out. I'll send you some wrestling matches. We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. Have a great night. Roy, count us down.
5, 4.
Wrong.
Come on, really? After all of this, that's
Hey, get that squirrel.